we'll start with the tape deck. Now that's the CD player, that's making the normal noises it should do. So we'll test that first actually. It's opened, so that's a good sign. Doesn't need belts. That's the MiniDisc, I think, making that noise. So it sounds like the MiniDisc needs the belt. The CD appears to be reading. It's taking its time. That's the MiniDisc must have a MiniDisc in it, which is why it's making those noises, but we're trying to get the CD to work. Right, let's try again. Push play. Right, I've heard it spin up. Yes, the CD is playing, but the MiniDisc keeps coming up on the display, changing the display, so there's obviously an issue with the MiniDisc on this. But the CD is playing. You see again, it's come up. I think there's a disc stuck in there, so we'll have to look and see. Obviously it sounds like it needs a set of belts, the motor's just spinning. But the CD player seems to be alright. We'll just pop that to one side. We'll get a cassette and try the cassette. Right, I can see from the top that the tape is indeed winding that direction and is playing. Let's try the other direction. And it's also playing in the other direction, so that's good. Let's stop. Press it again. Now that's direction. There we go, there's stop. So the tape deck appears to be working fine, as does the CD player. So the issue we're going to have is the MiniDisc. So what we need to do is get this opened and see what's going on. So we'll power it all down. We'll take these screws out on the sides first. I'm assuming these just slide or clip off one way or the other. And we might have to take the top panel off first by the looks of it. Take all these screws out here. Well, that one's come off now anyway. It just has some little lips in the top, so if I'd have pulled it that way I think it would have come off. We just turn it the other way around. Get these ones out. Yeah, if you just jiggle it, it does look like it will come loose. There we go. There's two panels off. Lift the top piece off. Disconnect the tape deck cable. What I want to do is get this out. So looking at it, there appears to be a screw down there, so we should be able to get that screw. Is there another one there? So it's just two screws, I think, by the looks of it. So then we should be able to get that top shield off and then access the MiniDisc. So we'll need a long screw. So hopefully you can just see that screw down there. Just move my thumb out of the way. There we go. So it's that there. That's that one out, and then there's one just here. Sometimes you need to front panels on these types of machines. I'm just hoping we don't need to with this. So just take that little earth tab off. Yeah, hopefully that'll all come off now. It feels to be caught somewhere. There we go. So it's coming off. I'll just slightly bend the front panel. There we go. So we can actually get to the Mech now. Now you could release it and take it out, but you'll find this is just a standard sort of Mech that you get in something like an MD J780, or 440, 470, 480, even a 980. So they're all pretty much the standard Mech. So you can actually use these for spare lasers and things. It's a cheap way to get a replacement laser if you need one. So there is no actual disc in, but it looks like there's been a disc in because of where these are positioned. Someone's tried to pull the disc out while it's still partly loaded, so what we need to do is slide these back first. So we push that underneath, it will lift everything up, and we should be able to slide them all the way to the front like that. So that's now reset the Mech. So we just push this down here. Just be mindful of the little spring that's at the side here. In theory we should be able to get in there, but I think what I'm going to do is just to make life easier is I'll just take the Mech out because it's only a couple of screws and a couple of cables. Just disconnect that, and then you'll get a better idea of what I'm doing, because there may be some residue on the spindle for the motor as well. If there is, you're never going to clean that up while it's in situ like this. Well, these are quite tight. Just lift this up now, it should all come loose. There we go. So we've now got the Mech out. And what I was trying to say was, if we look in here, we may find that the motor spindle, it's got loads of gunk on it. Sometimes the belts just isn't great, and if you do that, then you need to pop the spindle off. So I'll open this up as if the spindle is faulty, just to show you guys how to get to it if you need to. So that spring I mentioned earlier, if we just pop that off for the moment, like so, don't lose it, you're going to need it. And then we can release the entire Mech just by sliding it across, and there you've got nice easy access now, as you can see. So there's the belt that we want to get rid of. As you can see, that is really baggy. And now if we actually look at the spindle, you'll see that's actually nice and clean. Luckily that is nice and clean, as is the motor spindle. So we don't need to clean those, but if you did, what you would do, get yourself a flat blade screwdriver or a pair of pliers underneath the wheel, pop it up, likewise on the spindle, pop it and put your finger over top, stop it flying off, remove it, give it a good clean with foam cleaner or ISP, and then just push it back on, put your new belt on, and everything's good. I'm just going to put my new belt on, just put it over the motor spindle, and then wrap it round onto the drive spindle. You'll see there's a little tiny spring here, just to the side. Hopefully you can see that. Just make sure, excuse me, just make sure you don't dislodge that as you're doing it. If you do, you'll just need to clip it back into these two little plastic clips to hold everything in place. Make sure that your slider here is pushed as far, there you go, you see it's gone a little bit further up, as far as it will go up there, because that accesses the little sensors here, the little switches, which you can clean if you think there's an issue, but usually they don't get dirty, these, because they're nicely sealed. Now whenever you can put the top part back on, you'll see you've got a longer, like, what's the word? I don't know, my brain's gone, yeah, Sunday morning my brain's not working, but that basically locates into there, a tab. Yep, there you go. And then you've got a smaller sort of tab there that's locked into that one. So if you start to push it together here on this side, like so, push that in, and as you're pushing it in, you need to just make sure this one goes in as well. There you go, should feel it all swing into place like so. You need to make sure that this here, which is what a lot of people get wrong, this locator tab here needs to sit into that tab there, and as I mentioned earlier, you need to make sure it's pushed all the way up to the top, and you should find it all just clips together like so. Again, make sure your tab is pushed all the way forwards, because if you don't, when you first power it up, the machine won't do its complete self-test, and it'll look like there's a problem, it won't come out of power. Final thing to do rather than losing your screw, is just to put your little spring back on. So you just pop it onto that little ledge there, and then with my pliers, and these are the best ones, because I've got a hook on. I bent a hook on one end of these. Oops. I can't get a grab. Let me get a better pair of pliers. And when I said pliers, I meant tweezers, but yeah, like I say, I'm having a brain fart today, I think. That just clips back over there, onto the top, like so. So make sure you've got that on, because that actually helps keep the metal plate square once the disc loaded. Now we can pop all this back in and test it. The good thing about these machines is you don't have to locate any flaps or anything on the front. On the older MiniDisc machines, there's like a little lever that you've got to line up from the front panel and everything for the shutter to open and close. On this generation, as I say, which is the last sort of generation, anything with an MDLP drive will be exactly the same as this, and there's no levers to line up or anything, because it's all built into the Mech rather than the front panel, which is a nice touch. Let's put these cables back in. Oops. That's what we're doing. There we go. So what we can do before we go for any further is we can just actually give it a quick test in this situation. We don't need to worry about connecting the tape deck back up, but we can see if the deck is actually working okay or not. Find a MiniDisc. So you don't hear the drive spinning or anything now, which is a good sign. Yeah, it's reading that fine. So we can't see the display, put some MiniDisc, there we go. You can see it's reading a disc and telling you what it is and everything. No idea what all this is on there. Lopper ding ding. Anyway, it's playing it, so the MiniDisc is now working. So what we'll do is pop it all back together and then give it a proper test. What we need to do is hold that up into place now and not do the same mistake. And then when we try to put all this back on, what wants to come through here. Push that along the back. Oops, where's you gone? There we go, got it. Fiddly, but got it. So what we'll do before anything else, put a screw in there, hold it in place. I'm not sure if I just dropped a screw loose in there, so we'll have to just tip it out and see. There you go. I want that rattling around, causing a short. Right. Put that in there. The other one goes down into there. Pop the tape deck back in again now. Start way around. See, slide the cable up how it should be, so it goes the right way. Get these panels put back on. Screws in just to hold everything in place. Now put the bottom two in. The other side. And there was all these screws in the back to go in, which help secure the side panels and the top panel. Quite a lot of inputs on the back really for what it is. You've got an analog input, you've got a digital out, and then you've got the USB connection to your PC, which is for the Net MD feature. So not bad little systems for the money, these. What we'll do now is just give it a quick clean and then we'll power it all back up and test it's working. So here we go, all cleaned up. Let's double check everything is working. Pop the CD in. Yeah, that's playing okay. Try a MiniDisc. Don't hear anything at the minute. No idea what that is. But there we go, all working. Nice little system, as I say. You can pick these up on eBay quite cheap, not working. Fix it up and you've got a really nice little system that does everything you need for not much cost. Hope you enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe and see you again soon.